Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the vlog. This is going to be my 24-hour Witchathon reading vlog where basically we are doing 24 hours worth of live reading sprints, and so I figured there will probably be a lot to update on, so might as well make it an entirely separate vlog. Plus also we will slowly be able to see my sleep decline, like my energy level decline as I become sleep deprived, but that just makes these vlogs like 100 times more fun. So it is currently 11:42 as I'm starting this, and we've been going for 42 minutes. This goes from 11 a.m. on the 5th to 11 a.m. on the 6th for me. And so basically, as I read, I will update you on books. I know that I have a cat trying to say hi. You want up? Oh, so of course we have a little buddy. Do you want to say what I just did? Say I bothered Sissy while she was trying to edit her video. So yeah, I just edited my April wrap up, and that's pretty much all I've done so far, besides have this little one bother me. But I know that I have a couple books started that I want to continue, and also I want to read during these sprints as much as I can of Loath to Love You by Ali Hazelwood. You want the book? And I'll explain this as I read it because it's a series of like novellas. So there's 3 novellas, Under One Roof, Stuck With You, and Below Zero. I believe those are there. Yeah. So as I read them, I'll read the back of the book where it kind of explains them a little bit. But I will be starting that later. I also have a bunch of productivity things that I might do during these sprints. Maybe I'll listen to an audiobook, maybe not. I honestly don't know. We'll kind of see that as the time goes. But I just wanted to start this, and the cat is trying to eat my hand. And I'll just update kind of as we go throughout the day and all of that. But yeah. Let's see how the next 24-hour goes for reading, productivity, and who the hell else knows. So it is now 6:41, and I finished the first book in the Loath to Love You like novella bind up, and in the first book, which is Under One Roof, basically we are following Mara and Liam, and they end up having to live together because like Liam's aunt died, and Liam's aunt and Mara were friends, so Liam's aunt ended up putting Mara in her will of getting half the house. Keyword, half the house. And then the other half of the house is Liam's, and basically they don't like each other when Mara first moves in, and it's slowly them going from not liking each other to liking each other. And it gets 4 stars. It was really cute. One thing I do wish is that these novellas were a little bit longer, because this one was only 122 pages, but this was short. It was like 100 and some pages, and yes, that is what these are meant to be, but I feel like I just couldn't connect with the characters enough. Like, I do feel like at some points it was a bit jarring because we were jumping through the points of like over 6 months of them living together, and so there were some things where you're just like, okay, yeah, but this is the only context we're getting for this, instead of a little bit more context. So really, if a little bit more context would have been added to some of the scenes, the characters would have been a little bit more developed, and it would have been a tiny bit longer. Like, I'm talking like 10-15 pages longer. It could have been a 5-star. I do really like the spicy scene though. That was good. So yeah, 1 book for this 24-hour like reading vlog, and we are almost 7 hours in. I swear I will get more read at some point. I'll probably start the next novella in the next sprint, because my goal is to get at least the first 2 novellas in this done, preferably the whole thing, but who knows. So it is 11:48. I'm exhausted. I had my energy drink. I had that over the last like hour, and it's just gonna go on the floor for now. I'll put it in the recycling after. I'm still reading Stuck With You, which I will briefly explain it now that I have it. I will finish it. I think I have like 20 pages left, so not that much. Basically, in Stuck With You, we are following Sadie and Eric. Is that his name? We're going with it. And basically, we're following kind of in 2 points in time. The present and 3 weeks in the past. In the present day, they are literally stuck in an elevator at the place they work. Like, they work at 2 different places, but it's within the same building. So they take the same elevator. And then we were also following 3 weeks ago where they met at a coffee shop, kind of hit it off, and ended up basically kind of having a one-night stand. And so we're seeing that, like them first meeting and interacting and all that, and then kind of essentially almost ghosting each other. And then we're following in the present where they are again stuck in this elevator and are talking about that. And so far I'm liking this. I will save all my thoughts till I finish it, which again I will probably literally finish it within this sprint, because we are currently 25 minutes into the first sprint, because we spent the first 40-ish minutes of my sprints playing Trivia Murder Party, which rudely got interrupted by Morgan's brother playing, like logging into Steam and wanting to play his games, which is like, it's rude, but it is his account, so it's fair. But yeah, that pretty much is what has happened. We did like Disney and movie trivia on Morgan's channel, which I forgot to mention, and then we played Kahoot on Kim's channel. We played Trivia Murder Party on mine. So it so far has been like really fun. I am tired, but I do think I'll be able to hold off till 3 a.m. easy. But it's beyond that where I am definitely going to have to sleep during Tiara's sprints, which are after mine, which are 3 to 7 my time. And I honestly might be a horrible person and just sleep through her entire sprints, because I feel like with 4 hours of sleep, I can function tomorrow. Or at least function tomorrow where I only need like an hour nap in the afternoon tomorrow. But we will see. But yeah, I will update you when I finish Stuck With You. It's now 12:34. Hey, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I finished Stuck With You, and I'm giving it 4 stars. This, honestly, I do really like of how it's told in present day and 3 weeks ago. I do like that, instead of it being like, oh, having it be 3 weeks ago and then going to present day or something like that. And one praise that I really, really, really have for this book is a depiction of a very realistic sex scene. As in, like, in books, obviously there's some that have realistic scenes and others where you're like, well, that could be realistic to some people, but to the average person it's not. And this, we have mild spoilers I'll warn, because I'm going to kind of explain how the scene goes and explain why within that scene I like. So obviously Eric and Sadie officially met literally that morning, and they went on a date. They go back to his apartment and they start making out, move to the bedroom, and then kind of Sadie ends up freaking out because she's nervous and kind of she's intimidated, because she's the only person she's ever been with before, or at least it's implied has been with in a sexual manner, is her ex, who was a long-term relationship. Like, I think it was like almost 10 years or something. And so this is the first time she's had a one-night stand. And so she's kind of freaking out a bit, and it's very much that conversation of, okay, we're going to take a step back. We're going to have that conversation of, do both of us still want this? Okay, yes, we do. Okay, what do you want to do? What would make you most comfortable? And doing that, and that realistic communication of, okay, you're uncomfortable with this one thing. Okay, but like, what if we were to do it this way? Would you prefer that? Would that make you more comfortable? And her just being like, I still want to do this, but I would want to do it this way. And like, it very much being we can take a step back, regain our thoughts, and then continue. And I really like that, because not every single time you have sex with somebody, especially the first time, is going to be boom, immediate chemistry. We know exactly what the other person wants and how to do it. It kind of, there sometimes is those moments where you're like, yeah, I'm really enjoying this, but we need to take 2 steps back and rehash this out. So I love that. And I do like how, like, one thing that is kind of like cheesy in this is that very much like, it is very much like instant attraction that is just beyond attraction, and it's almost insta love, like they really like each other after the first date. And sometimes that does happen where you meet somebody, you go on a date, and you're like, oh my god, I really like this person. And so it's not too unrealistic, but I do also don't like the miscommunication, but obviously that is a very common trope in books, so it is present in this. I do think I will be reading some of Cursed by Marissa Meyer, because I need to finish it before Sunday, because I'm going to be on the live show for it with Ashley from Ashley's Media Addiction, who's one of the Witchathon co-hosts and has been on Sprints earlier. But what was I gonna say? But I'm only 26% into that, and this is basically the second book in the Gilded series, the first book being Gilded, which basically it's a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, where basically we are following Serilda, who essentially everything that she says comes true in some manner, whether it be in a good manner or a bad manner, and she is able to spin the truth and spin these lies without realizing that she's doing it. And basically she ends up being like accidentally making a deal of some sorts with the Errol King, who is, how do I describe it? Basically he's almost like, in some ways he's like the leader of like the Wild Hunt, and like almost like the leader of the dead, but not quite. In some ways he is, in other ways he's not. That's the easiest way to describe him. And her deal with him is basically she said a lie that she can spin straw into gold, and she isn't able to do this. She lied, but then a poltergeist named Guild ends up helping her, and she ends up having to make these little deals with him, and then the story goes on, and now we are in the second book where that story continues. It's obviously more in-depth than I've explained, but that's kind of like the very basic premise that is described horribly, because I have been up for over 16 hours at this point, and normally I'm going to bed. So it very much is I am tired, I want to go to bed, but I can't yet. So I don't know how good that explanation is, but my goal is to read some of this so that I don't need to do as much effort tomorrow, because I'm probably going to be half asleep for some of tomorrow. But I figured just do this little update. And so yeah, I'll read more of Cursed, and then we'll update you maybe when my sprints are over, maybe sooner, I don't know, but definitely before I go to bed. So I feel like a hot mess express. It's 9/11 on like Saturday here, and first of all, I sound like a hot mess. Oh my god, I think I'm about to lose my voice. Thank god we're on the last sprint. I forgot to update after my sprints because they ended at 3, and then everybody on screen kind of ended up talking until about 3:30ish, because we kind of just got talking about random things, because when in doubt, you put friends together and you're going to talk about random things. And then I pretty much like went to the bathroom, crawled into bed, and then just zonked out. I originally had an alarm set for like, I think like 7 a.m, which would have been roughly 3.5 hours of sleep from the point that I fell asleep. Maybe a little bit closer to 3 hours, because it did take me like probably about 5-10 minutes to go to sleep, so it probably was closer to 4 than 3:30, whatever. And then I woke up, I heard my alarm, I just went fuck life, and then turned off my alarm, because I was like, I am not going to be able to function today. I would be a zombie the entire day. I honestly feel like I'm gonna be a zombie now, even though I got like 5 hours of sleep, give or take, because it was a little bit before 9, like maybe it was probably like 8 8:40 something, 8:50 something when I actually woke up. I don't remember. But yeah, I feel bad for not updating last night. I ended up reading to 42% of Cursed, and I don't really have any thoughts on it. Like, it's good, but it's not blowing me away, and honestly, it was putting me to sleep. Towards like that final sprint there, I was like, this is putting me to sleep, but I should continue to read it. So yeah, but I'm now currently on Sam's final sprints, and so yeah, I am going to read Below Zero and see how much of this I can get done within the last little bit. Obviously, I'll finish it today, whether it be in the sprints or after the sprints. Oh god, I'm already yawning. I have acquired my coffee in a color changing cup, which I love. But I'm gonna read that. I'll let you know what it's about once I actually read it. So the 24-hour reading sprints ended. They actually ended almost about 2 hours ago. It's 12:55 when I'm filming this, but I ended up just continuing to read this, so I figured I'll just finish it, update it, because I technically started this like 24 hours ago. But I ended up reading Below Zero, which basically we are following Hannah and Ian, and they met 5 years ago because of a like interviewing thing for one of Hannah's classes, where basically it was like, interview somebody that is within your field of your dream career. Hannah and Ian meet up to have this interview, and then they go back to his office and like kind of keep the interview going while also working on a little project together. They don't hook up, but it is sexual in nature. It's hard to describe. But they have like a moment, and then they split ways because Ian asks Hannah out for dinner, and she doesn't do dates, she doesn't do dinner, she just does hookups and sex pretty much. Then I think it's 4 years later, she ends up getting a job with NASA, which is where he works, and they only get to see each other for like an hour before he has to go work on a different project, and then she's off to Norway to work on a different project. And then we're doing 6 months later, where an interaction happens. And then in present day, where Hannah is on a different quest in Norway, and she ends up getting stuck, and he comes to rescue her, which is why the title is Below Zero, because it is the middle of winter in Norway and it is fucking freezing. So yeah, I'm giving it 4 stars because I really liked it. I really like Hannah and Ian and their like dynamic of how it's been like pining for like 5 years, and Ian is 100% a simp. But when in doubt, all of these are 4 stars. Like, they are good, but it's just the fact that you only see these characters for about anywhere from like 110 to 150 pages. So it's like, they're very cute and very fluffy, and I do recommend them if you're looking for like a cute, fluffy, simple read with like a dash of spice. I'd say all of these on my personal spice scale are a 2, which is basically like, the scenes are descriptive, but they are very quick and very simplistically done, like as in detail, so it's not like overly explained, overly like described, but it is still described in a manner of, you know exactly what is happening and are able to like, I don't want to say experience it with the characters, but it's the only words that I can think of. So yeah, I'm really happy I read this. So yeah, so that was 3 books that I technically read within the 24 hours, because there were 3 novellas in this, but it ends up being 1 fully fledged book, which I'm still happy with. Like, this was my goal for this, like, vlog for this 24 hours, and it did take me a little bit longer than the 24 hours, because I needed sleep, but I'm still calling this a win. This I really do recommend, especially if you are just, like, entering Allie Hazelwood's books and you're unsure if you'll like her writing style. This definitely is a entrance into her writing. But yeah, so this was so much fun. I really appreciate Sam for first of all, not only doing this readathon, and letting me be a priestess, but also for organizing this 24-hour reading sprints. It was really, really, really fun. Obviously I'm lacking sleep, so the aftermath is not fun, but the event itself was fun. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this vlog. It was definitely kind of chaotic and kind of boring at the same time. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps my channel grow, and I appreciate it so much. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye!